Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Arsenal set £30 million asking price for a player, replacement transfer lined up. Arsenal have set a £30 million asking price for the transfer of goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale as he attracts interest from Nottingham Forest and Southampton this summer, CaughtOffside understands. Sources close to the situation have informed CaughtOffside that Ramsdale is expected to leave Arsenal this summer as he looks to get back to playing regularly after falling down the pecking order in Mikel Arteta's side last season, with David Raya now the undisputed number one for the Gunners. As things stand, it's understood that although Forest and Southampton are interested in Ramsdale, they would not be willing to pay Arsenal's £30 million asking price for the England international, so it remains to be seen if the North London Giants will end up lowering their demands or if anyone else perhaps joins the race and indicates they'd be prepared to pay up. Meanwhile, Arsenal are still interested in signing Wolves keeper Daniel Bentley as their new backup keeper, with talks ongoing despite Arsenal previously seeing bids rejected for the 31-year-old. Arsenal will want to ensure they are not in too much trouble if Raya gets injured or suspended at some point, so bringing in an experienced figure like Bentley could be a useful option. At the same time, though, Karl Hein has shown some promise in the preseason so far, and some Arsenal supporters will surely feel the 22-year-old could be good enough to serve as the club's second choice without the need for a new signing in that position, even if Bentley should come pretty cheap. Arsenal is struggling to sign a Premier League player as his club offers him a new deal. Arsenal have managed to complete the permanent signing of goalkeeper David Raya this summer, and they are now closing in on a deal to sign defender Riccardo Calafiori. The Gunners battled hard again last season in the Premier League, but lost on the final day of the season to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Mikel Arteta's team is closing the gap on the Premier League winners every season, and it remains to be seen if they can finish in first place and win their first league title since 2004. The club is ready to sign new players in order to add depth to the squad so that Arteta can have another go at the league title next season. The North Londoners have been linked with a move for Wolves goalkeeper Dan Bentley, but according to The Sun, the Gunners are struggling to sign him since he is being offered a new contract by his club. After losing his spot in the team to Raya last season, Aaron Ramsdale is expected to leave the Emirates Stadium this summer in order for more playing time. In that case, the Gunners would need a new goalkeeper to become their number two behind Raya. Although Ramsdale has not yet left the club, the Premier League giants are already preparing for such a scenario. While the Gunners manager has not been deterred, he is beginning to consider his alternatives after the Midlands club extended an offer to the goalkeeper to keep him at Molineux. Arsenal are ready to explore other options as they feel that Wolves are demanding a high fee for the 31-year-old goalkeeper. Before starting a new career at South and United in 2009, Bentley was a member of the Arsenal youth setup. Over the years, he has enjoyed a number of successful stints with top clubs. He joined Wolves in 2023 and has been acting as Jose Sá's backup. The goalkeeper has just made 9 appearances in the last 1.5 years. The Gunners would need a new goalkeeper soon, as Ramsdale would not accept another season on the bench at the Emirates Stadium. He needs to leave Arsenal in order to make progress in his career and build on his impressive past performance for Arteta's team. Arsenal back in for ambitious forward transfer following major development. Arsenal are reportedly back in the race for the transfer of Napoli striker Victor Osimhen after Paris Saint-Germain decided the asking price for the Nigeria international is too high. This has apparently seen both the Gunners and Chelsea get back in touch with Napoli in the last few days, according to Football Transfers. Though the Blues' contacts with the Serie A giants may also be because Romelu Lukaku is their top target to replace Osimhen. It will be interesting to see what this means for Arsenal, who could surely do with investing in a top striker like Osimhen, even if it's been a little quiet on that front this summer, with a few good enough players on the market at realistic prices. Benjamin Sesko was targeted by Arsenal earlier this summer before signing a new contract with RB Leipzig instead, and Fabrizio Romano told us at the time that this won't necessarily mean that the North London Giants look for another striker in this window. He said, there has been some suggestion that Arsenal will no longer necessarily be making a striker a top priority target after missing out on Benjamin Sesko, but I'd keep the situation open. No decision has been made yet. It will also depend on the opportunities. Sesko was an opportunity, but then he decided to stay at Leipzig. Let's see how Arsenal decide to move on the market in the next days and weeks. It's hard to believe that Osimhen is too expensive for a club like PSG, but not for Arsenal, so it will be interesting to see if this story really ends up going anywhere. It's one thing liking a player, and which top club wouldn't appreciate the talents of someone like Osimhen, but one imagine Arsenal would have to make a few more significant sales to be able to afford this kind of signing and stay in line with financial fair play rules. Still, football transfers note that Napoli want to sell Osimhen, so perhaps that's given Arsenal some optimism that an agreement can be struck. PSG, by contrast, already have plenty of attacking talent like Gonzalo Ramos and Randall Kolo Muani, so may be happy enough to go into the new season with them and no further new additions. Arsenal not the only club eyeing a transfer of impressive Spain Euro 2024 winner. Speaking exclusively to CaughtOffside for his daily briefing column this week, Johnson has given some insight into what Arsenal could expect if they were to put an offer on PSG's table for Ruiz. He said, Fabian Ruiz has been linked as a target for Arsenal, and I think his situation is an interesting one to watch this summer. He obviously had a really good tournament with Spain at Euro 2024 and ended up with a winner's medal, while he's also generally been considered an important player by Luis Enrique at PSG. In terms of what happens next, and in terms of the interest from Arsenal and other clubs who have sat up and taken notice after his very convincing performances with Spain, I think a move would depend on what kind of offers is put on the table to PSG. We know Joao Neves is expected to come in shortly, while Renato Sanchez will most likely be moving out, and Xavi Simon's future also seems to lie at least for the coming season in Leipzig, though we'll see what happens long term with that. So that's a few names going out, but there is also Gabriel Moscardo, and the assumption is that PSG's starting midfield three will be Emery, Vitinha, and one other player. So if you factor Ruiz into a five-man rotation, there is definitely still room for him in Paris, and I think Enrique will be happy with how he performed with Spain and be hopeful that he can get Ruiz back into that kind of form in the season ahead. PSG will probably wait and see if there is any offer put forward to the club and then move from there, but I don't think there is any real pressure to move Ruiz on. There might have been a time about a year ago, before Enrique came in, when it wasn't a foregone conclusion that Ruiz would be a long-term fixture at PSG, but now I think his recent improvement in form and the fact that young players like Moscardo and Neves might need a bit of time to bed in might mean there is a need for someone like Ruiz. As previously reported, Manuel Ugarte is another player who could be expected to move on, so that's another reason to keep Ruiz around, and it removes that pressure to move him on. Let's see what kind of offers arrive, if any, but I wouldn't expect a concentrated effort to push Ruiz towards the Parc des Princes exit. Arsenal must increase their offer to sign Barcelona star. Arsenal has been linked with a move for Rafinha since the winger played in the Premier League for Leeds United. Rafinha was one of the best players in his position in England, but when it came time to change clubs, he opted to move to Barcelona. Arsenal was keen to have him in their squad, and he continues to be linked with a move away from Barcelona. Rafinha is one of the players who could leave Barcelona as they target a move for Nico Williams in this transfer window. The Brazilian is still committed to Barca, but that could change in the coming weeks, and Arsenal is ready to sign him if they miss out on Williams to the Catalans. Reports in Spain, as revealed on Sport Witness, claim Arsenal is willing to offer 50 million euros to bring Rafinha back to the Premier League. However, that amount might not be enough, with the report adding that the winger will cost 10 million to 15 million euros more. Arsenal will now have to decide if they value him that much or abandon the move for him entirely. Rafinha is a fine winger, but he is not worth 65 million euros, and we should back out if Barca insist on that asking price. Fabrizio Romano confirms Arsenal's next transfer priority after sealing Calafiori transfer. Arsenal is preparing to announce the signing of Riccardo Calafiori in the next few hours, and the Italian will not be the last player they sign this summer. He will soon become their second biggest transfer acquisition of the summer after the permanent signing of David Raya. But who will be next? Several players are on Arsenal's shortlist, and the capture of Calafiori is expected to open the door for more business. However, they have to take it one player at a time. Fabrizio Romano expects them to step up their interest in Mikel Merino after signing Calafiori. The Spanish midfielder is expected to leave Real Sociedad this season after a superb Euro 2024 performance. Arsenal has contacted his entourage about a move to North London, and the response was positive, setting the stage for them to advance talks. However, Romano adds that signing the Spanish star will depend on how much Sociedad ask for, considering he has entered the final year of his current deal. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.